I have been asked for demonstrations of my theoretical work in mapping out the number pi in the project known as the Infinity Pi Matrix. This is a project that I've been working on since Pi Day of it was March 14th of 2015, so we're looking at 9 years ago. And I just came across a really good example of how to practically use the technology of the Infinity Pi Matrix in everyday use. And I came across an example, and this is it. Just to explain very briefly, in case you haven't seen the previous videos, the Infinity Pi Matrix is a mapping out of the infinite number pi, and obviously because it's infinite, it will never be done, but there's a certain amount of numbers that have been mapped out already, precisely 8,460 digits, which are 282 rows of 30 digits per row. And each word in pi, I think of them as words, but the words are really 3-digit numbers, starting with the first 314. And although some calculate it after the decimal point, 141, 592, etc., this takes 314 as the first word in pi, the first number word. So it's 314, 159, 265, 358, 979, etc. 358, 979, 323, 846, 264, etc. Okay, so let's look at the number. If you do that, the first row would be 314, 159, 265, 358, 979, 323, 846, 264, 338, 327. Okay, that's the first row. That's 30 digits, 10 3-digit words. And yeah, they're called words. That's a great name, word. WRD. So 23 and 18. Okay, anyway, I'm getting carried away. If you go to the 16th row, you're going to find, because someone asked me, what do you do for a living? And I told them, do you like infinite numbers? Do you like infinite numbers? I said, if you explain to me what infinite numbers are, maybe I could tell you if I like it or not. I said, do you know what pi is? The infinite number pi? He's like, yes, that's what I do. I map out pi, as many digits as possible. And then he said to me, how do you make money? You make money from that? I said, actually, yes, I do. Because if I call phone numbers, each digit of the phone number is connected to a certain digit in pi. So I literally make money from it for sure, without doubt. And I wasn't lying. I was actually telling the truth. But let's make no mistake about it. It would be nice to see greater profitability directly from the content. But we'll see if it happens. It's all up to God, I believe that this was given to me from heaven, from Shemayim. So it's not mine. It's for God. It's for His glory alone. And it's from Him alone. Because to Him and through Him, of Him and to Him and through Him are all things. Amen? So let's have a look at the Infinity Pi Matrix, row 16. This is the row, okay? It's 807, 446, 237, 996, 274. Think about that number 274 for a second. It's the 1, 2, 3, 4. It's the fifth word. It's the fifth word. Each word has 6 wings. Is the word an angel? It can be. Does the angel have 6 wings? That's what it says. Isaiah 6, I believe. I think so. Anyway, 956 is an area code in Texas. 735, 188, 575 is New Mexico. 272. Okay. Let's focus on the number 274 because there's someone who has a YouTube channel called Babylon Talmud, which I subscribe to. I post it on my X page every day because I'm also a Daf Yomi enthusiast. I follow the Daf, but not just from a Daf Yomi point of view, but rather from a numerical, how should I say, a numericist or a number theorist point of view. That the pagination sequences of the Daf Yomi, we're on Daf 19 today, and I called someone named Dan, and Dan has an English gematria of 19, then we're in sync here. Versteht Yiddish? Versteht Jewish? So that's really the whole thing. So basically, Sruli Raps from Babylon Talmud said, "Let me roll up my sleeves." Do you know what that equals in English gematria? I'll fill you in. I'll save you the time from calculating each word. It's 274, and if you don't believe me, you can get out your gematria calculator. You can check it out for yourself. Okay? It just so happens to be that 274 is the the fifth word in row 16. But 16, the 16th letter of the alphabet is ayin. And ayin, according to Sefer Yetzirah, is the letter of Shevet Dan. Who did I call today? Did I call Dan this morning at 9:54? Yes, I did. Because I called this phone, and it didn't work for many phone calls. Starting from 9:29, which is Gematria Posech Es Yadecha, 9:29. It's true. Check it out. Posech Es Yadecha in regular Hebrew Gematria is equal to 9:29. I tried it, and lately this phone hasn't been working. It hasn't been working. I mean, it works. It's like off and on. It's kind of like I can dial it, and it just dials, and it goes beep, drops the call, beep, drops the call, beep. So it's up to Hashem. You have to leave it up to Hashem. Someone asked me, "How do you make a living?" I said, "I calculate pi. That's how I make a living." That is literally how I make a living. I'm at work right now. Today's a work day. Did you know that? Today's a work day? It's a Monday morning. And I'm sitting here in my place and I'm darshaning pi. I think that's considered making a living. I would say that's how you make money. Because I believe essentially that a person doesn't make money. God just gives money, that's it. He gives you your living, and that's what it is. So, by extension, I'm making money through darshan pi. 274 has a value of let me roll up my sleeves. This is like Sruli Rap. What I like about Sruli Raps is that he is a computer programmer. So he thinks in terms of, he has these like these set codes. I think he's a coder. So he has these things that he says that keeps him going. Like he goes, every once in a while he'll go, "Sorry, Mom." Or he'll go, friends. Yo, friends. How you doing there? You know, it just has these things that they're like patterns. They're like algorithms. And it's like it's like the framework of how he delivers the message with all these. I understand it well because it's like there's these different connectors, and then these connectors help the neurons flow. So some people have more of them than others, but he has quite a few of them. I think I have a few of them myself. Like I say, calling to see how things are coming along from the realm of spices, and that's one for me. But anyway, he said, "Let me roll my sleeves," and "let me roll my sleeves" has a numerical value of 274, which is the fifth word in row 16. And 16 is ayin, which is the letter of Dan. But who did I call at 9:54? I called Dan. In Hebrew gematria, Dan equals 54. That is 9:54. Not 954, but in every hour, if you have 60 minutes, you could, 54, it's like, you ever ask some people to call, there's a certain kind of person that says, what time is it? And they're like, 54. And you're expected to know what hour it is. You ever come across these kind of people? So that's a practical value, but no, it goes further. See, I always get on these tangents, but here's the thing. Every Monday, see, I also have these algorithms. I have these these structures, and so every Monday I'm getting a slice of mushroom and olive, and I think that's probably within if anything is a simulation, it's these routines, these set codes that are written in the routines. Because if I go to Pizza Maven and I get a slice of mushroom and olive, guess how much that sentence has a value of? I bet you can guess it. That's right. A slice of mushroom and olive in English Gematria has a numerical value of no less and no more than 274. That equals, let me roll up my sleeves. Is today Monday? Let me check my clock. Yeah, I think it's Monday. So, how is it that I called Dan, who is the fifth word in row 16, which is Tavis, and how is it that it is Monday, and I get a slice of mushroom and olive every Monday, and Shirley Rapp said, let me roll up my sleeves. It all equals 274. I can show this to you on paper if you don't believe me. So, whoever says this isn't practical is not seeing what's going on here. Now, Mordechai is also 274, and you could say that we're in the Purim time. That's a little bit more distant. It's more of a stretch, but so that's a really good example, I think, of how you can really use this to almost I'm only going to say what's true. That's my new thing now. That's my new hachlata. My new hachlata really now is to say what's true. Usually I kind of like, if someone gives me like a little few airtime, they give me a little bit of whatever, and dude, you give me an inch and I take a mile. I start making stuff up, man. I start making stuff up, just like I talk about the Illuminati and this and that. What are you talking about, man? You're making it up. You gave me a little bit of airtime, you gave me a little bit of attention, and all of a sudden I start making stuff that isn't true. And I'm making a chalata and really not to do that anymore. Not to do that at all anymore. Only what's true. And I'm not going to say anything that isn't actually... But Dan Gerios knows who I'm talking about. Dan Gerios knows good and well. I called him for about 15 years now. You know? It came real close one time. You know?